So I guess the song is Amazing Grace, and I guess I've come to a point where I just say grace is amazing
Grace is amazing.
because it is grace that has brought me where I am. So excited to be coming home to St. Louis to get my star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Uh, you don't come back from looking death in the face unchanged. And it wasn't Daniel in the lion's den, it was Diva in the lion's den. I always tell people, you don't get to smell the rose, baby. You gotta navigate those thorns because they're coming. It's called life.
That is true. From the Broadway stages to television to the big screen, this legendary actress has achieved an illustrious career as an A-list Hollywood actor who is, no doubt, a common household name. She's the mother of Black Hollywood, Jenifer Lewis. On tonight's episode of Jaquise on the Beat, I get the privilege to sit down virtually with Jenifer to reflect on her life.
I don't know, there was always something in me that just compelled me to move forward, just move.
To hear a few compliments. These days,
Plus, you're handsome, you're so cute. You're adorable.
I appreciate it, And to see her excitement as she prepares to receive her star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame.
If Kinloch and St. Louis hadn't given me all that I had when I left, I wouldn't be where I am in Hollywood. Here we go. Listen, man. Listen, it's been a journey. What can I tell you? It's been, so I guess the song is Amazing Grace, and I guess I've come to a point where I just say grace is amazing.
Grace is amazing.
Because it is grace that has brought me where I am. Where do you want me to start? It's just I'm so excited to be coming home to St. Louis to get my star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame.
Yes.
It means a lot to me. People like, was the Hollywood Walk of Fame more exciting than the St. Louis Walk of Fame? They would be even.
Really?
Because it was St. Louis Kinloch, of course, that made me the person I was to earn the Hollywood star.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that they're equal, Yeah.
So you really have done so much. I mean, some of your most memorable movies, The Temptations, What's Love Got to Do with It, your role as Aunt Helen in Fresh Prince, Not Easily Broken, all of these iconic movies where you played this mother figure, and so many more to mention. What would you say is your most memorable moment in Hollywood?
Whoa, my most memorable moment. Oh my God, there's so many, darling. You mean happy moments or ignorant moments? Let's see. Oh my God, man. I don't know how to answer that question. Most memorable. I guess Jackie's Back, the Jackie's Back premiere. It's the one movie I've starred in, and it's become a cult classic among the Black people and gay people. And listen, Jackie's Back. That's all I can tell you. I think it's on Hulu right now. But that was the premiere of the movie that I starred in was pretty exciting.
I love that. I love that. So would you say that was probably your favorite movie overall or your favorite production that
Well, my performance, I loved my performance in What's Love Got to Do with It. I loved my performance in The Preacher's Wife. Um, I just finished a series called I Love That for You, where I thought that was my absolute best work.
Okay.
It's on Showtime. They didn't pick it up, but there's still 8 episodes there that are really good. But, I've traveled all over the world.
Mhm.
I've met, you know, I've seen so much. I sang for royalty in Monaco. I've, taken shoes to kids in other countries who needed them, ballet slippers to the dancers in Cuba, gym shoes to the kids in Rwanda. It's all about giving back right now. I got everything I want, everything. And through it all, through the mental illness, bipolar disorder, I've been treated for 25 years now. Through being molested by the pastor of my church, through, being ripped off by a con artist, through an attempted rape in my life in New York. So many things, the thorns in the rose garden. I always tell people, you don't get to smell the rose, baby. You gotta navigate those thorns because they're coming. It's called life.
That is true.
And I have been blessed to be able to navigate. And I want to say to kids, it has to be a passion. You've got to find your passion. It is my passion that compelled me to want more, to be more, to be better. Because I had to get up no matter how depressed I was when I was untreated bipolar disorder. I got up. I knew I had to go to dance class. I had to go to singing classes. I had to go to yoga classes. I had to go to act. I had to be ready. I had to be ready to perform on Broadway, to do the 68 movies I've done, the over 500 episodic television shows, 200 concerts all over the world. Animations, I'm doing 13 animations right now in 13 different voices. I mean, life is wonderful, but I did the work. I did the work. I asked for help because I wanted to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Mm.
And now I'm aligned,
Yeah.
far from perfect, but aligned to be more joyful, to have more gratitude. I mean, I'm sure you heard about the fall in Africa.
Yes, of course.
Honey, all I want to do is give back. I'm like, to be saying to God, whatever you want, honey, just don't
Yeah,
let me fall. Don't let me fall 10 feet no more.
sure.
Please, God. I
So,
believe.
so
Yeah.
how did that adjust your perspective on life?
Oh, well, it's just more precious. It's even more precious. I was a bad mamma jamma before I fell. So y'all better be scared now because I came back better, baby.
It was November 2022 when Jenifer took to the adventure of a lifetime in Africa. After exploring places like Cape Town and Rwanda, she ends up in the Serengeti, the place where her life would change forever. While enjoying the sights one evening from her hotel balcony, she steps too far and commences a plummeting 10-foot drop to a dry ravine of sharp boulders. A drop that warranted a 9-hour hip surgery, 10 days in the hospital, and a staggering 9-month recovery.
I'm walking now after having not been able to walk for 9 months. Still got some post-traumatic stress from the fall, but even that's gotten better because for a while I couldn't even talk about it without crying. And, I was in shock maybe the first 5 months. And like I told Robin Roberts on Good Morning America, I got off the pain medication because I was like, if I can feel it, I can fix it. But that's because I did so much body work all these years. That's the other thing I want to say to people: take care of yourselves. Come on. We have all this information now that we didn't have in my day about how to eat well and how to exercise and take care of yourselves. When you're in trouble, when you find yourself in a chaotic situation and everything seems so dark and wrong, write. Get a journal and write your feelings. Work through them. If you don't go down to the root of the pain, then it'll grow back like a weed, you see. So do the work, whatever that means to you. If you need medication, I don't promote medication, but if you need some, honey, I'm glad they have it, you know. But take care of yourselves. That's how I got off the ground of the Serengeti.
Sure.
And the working title of my third book is Get Up. Get the F-U-C-K up. We can't lay there. We can't be the victim when something goes wrong. Help somebody. When you don't know what to do, go help somebody. It'll make you feel better because you're helping yourself when you do that. So there's so many things I can't wait to write in my new book because, yes, the answer to your question, after the fall, I have been made new. You don't come back from looking death in the face unchanged. And it wasn't Daniel in the lion's den. It was Diva in the lion's den. And because the king didn't eat the queen is back, better than she ever was.
I heard that. I know from childhood, you already knew as a child you were meant for stardom. So, but if I can ask, more specifically, what was your dream as a child? Like, what did you actually want to do? If there was
that's a simple answer. I wanted to be a star.
Okay.
Oh, yes, honey. And when I wanted to be a star, I meant Dorothy Dandridge, Betty Davis, Judy Garland, Sammy Davis, all of them, Hattie McDaniel. Oh, honey, I studied them. Lana Turner. Yeah, I used to stay up really late when I was a little girl. And, I was the baby of 7 children. So by the time I came along, honey, my mother was 26 years old. I'm sure she was exhausted. So I didn't get the attention I wanted. So I said, I'm going to be a star and everybody's going to see me. So that's kind of how it started, And then when I sang my first solo in First Missionary Baptist Church in Kinloch, when I saw the reaction of the congregation, I mean, they went crazy. I was up there, they were like, sing, Jenny. And people were shouting. And it wasn't one of those shouting churches, but honey, people were up. My mother was crying. I'd never seen her cry. The preacher was screaming. And when I saw that reaction, I stood there with my thumb in my mouth. I went cross-eyed, I was like, thinking, oh, this is life. And I never looked back, honey. When I found out I could move people like that, I never looked back. I had one job outside of show business. My freshman year at Webster University in St. Louis, I worked at McDonald's and toasted the buns. And I got fired because I burned them.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Okay. I loved it, child. Listen, I love talking about it. But no, I've been in the business. And I'm going to be real honest with you, Pumpkin. Like I said, many trials and tribulations, like everybody else, no better or worse. But I have enjoyed my life, even through the hard times. I don't know, there was always something in me that just compelled me to move forward, just get the job done, Jenny. Make it happen. You don't get to give up. You don't get to be a victim. Get up. But it was the passion, you see. I looked forward to the next song to sing. I looked forward to the next moment I could make somebody laugh. You know, I was a born entertainer. I'm not just, an actress, a comedian. I'm an entertainer. I entertain people, and was just very blessed to be so versatile in doing all of them. But like I said, my idols were Judy and Sammy. See, they did it all. They danced, they sang, they acted. Those were my idols. Mahalia Jackson, Aretha, um, those big voices, Shirley Bassey. And then along came, Astaire and Ginger Rock. I just used to stay in television like that when I was a kid. And, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, even when times were bad. I was just talking to somebody else. I think you got to be happy on your way to happy, as hard as that is. You can't just think you're going to get somewhere and be happy. Now, I had to learn all these things. I wasn't always this so sure of myself, but what I was sure of is I wasn't going to stop. I gave up many times, but I didn't quit. You see, I didn't quit. You can't quit. You got to be in it to win it.
Got to be
And
in.
one of my famous quotes is, "The elevator to success is broken. Take the stairs."
Amen. I feel that. And a lot of people out here are building their own staircase on their way to success.
Yes, absolutely. You being one of them. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. I didn't express myself well, but that's what I meant. It's so good to see your generation taking up the torch.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So, you've made it clear several times already that basically you are happy and you are satisfied with what you've done with your life and how your life has turned out and where you are.
Yeah.
But is there something or anything that you feel like you still want or have not yet achieved? What is it that you feel like you still want?
I got to be honest with you, baby. Just more joy. Wherever that leads me, whether it leads me to a great movie, a great TV show, a village in Uganda, a poor family in Indiana, Chicago, wherever I'm led, let it be known that I care. I had to learn that I couldn't fix it, whatever it is, but I can care and do my best. And when you do your best, you got to be smart enough to leave the rest. And don't let it drive you crazy. Do your best, that's all. Be easy on yourselves. Do what you love to do. I don't know what my future will be. What do I want? Peace on earth. I want the world to stop being at war with each other. That's what I want. I want children not to have to suffer all over the world. But what I have found is that if you take care of yourself, you are taking care of the world. Because somebody one day will see your light and they'll be better for it. I always thought I would save the world. I did when I was young. But I had to save myself. It sounds all deep and gushy and mushy, but that's who I am now. No drama. Let's just go help somebody. If a Chinese woman comes to my door screaming and done and talking and screaming in Chinese and pointing down the street, I'm not going to ask her, what are you talking about? I'm going to run down that street with her and pick that truck up off her kid. You got to be that connected to what's going on in the world. And I'm going to say this out loud. Everybody better vote. Because, honey, you're not voting for Biden. You're voting for democracy itself. Talking about he's too old. Well, if you think that way, you might be too young. Because the alternative, if you want your great-grandchildren to have air to breathe, you might want to vote blue. I tell everybody, I say, I've lived my life. But if America falls, God help us all.
I hear you.
So, yeah, so please vote. I mean, that shit.
I know you're a big advocate for voting. Always have been. You make it very clear every turn.
Absolutely. And I'm not telling people who to vote. Vote for who you want to vote for. But one candidate will stand for democracy and the other one will not. It's already said it out of his mouth.
So it is quite clear, and everybody knows that you are a strong activist, and you're very good at putting out there and fighting what you believe for. What do you do to channel all that energy into pouring in to the St. Louis area?
Well, I represent. I am a product of St. Louis. See, once again, there are no recipes. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I don't know. I know about politics. I know about right and wrong. I know about good and bad. I know a lie when I see one. You've seen my songs on social media. My passion. My last song was We Don't Get to Judge. We don't get to judge, because it has to be in you to see it in them. Think about it. We will win, because there's more of us than there are them. And only love can win. Breathe in. See, after the fall, I don't need to write songs about, oh, he's a clown, he's going to bring the world down and all of stuff. We all know that. Vote. Come out of your houses and do something. Get off the couch. Americans are so complacent. We're so spoiled, rotten. We're so privileged. Wake up. Wake up before all of our rights are gone. Women's rights, gay rights, they're taking everything. Voting rights. If they get in, there will be no more voting. They are going to tear up the Constitution and he will be king of the world. So, you got to ask yourself, what are you going to do? I'm going to do what I can do. And I can't save the world. You got to come out in the streets. You got to get all your cousins and aunts and uncles in the South, get them to vote that are sitting on the porch and standing on the corner. That's what they did, honey. They went down in the coal mines and got people, didn't know nothing about voting. We have to be just as aggressive and smart in that way of planning. I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers to anything. I love St. Louis. I hear there's a lot of crime right now. Once again, we have to come to the table. Though that's, yea, do I walk through. We have to work through these problems.
Right.
Can't just, like I said, you can't snatch the problem out like a weed. You got to go down to the root of the problem. Kids need jobs. They need somewhere to go after school. They need somebody to look in their eyes and say, I care. So they won't go out and commit crimes. We have to help each other. See, that's the ticket. If you know your next door neighbor ain't got no food, then share your food. That's what it's about. It's about values. It's about being present. We're a selfish society. Americans are spoiled rotten. But when they take all of our rights away, we're going to wake up, and then it's going to be too late.
You're right about that. So in another light, but still focusing on St. Louis, there are a lot of people from this area who love your story, are a big fan of you, and who essentially would love to be you one day. What do you feel like let me ask it a different way, I'm sorry. Do you have a vision for helping to bring more opportunity of production to St. Louis?
Well, let's say, I was going to retire before I fell. I think that was God telling me, oh, no, you're not going to retire. But, and I was going to open a speakeasy there. I had dreams to come back home, but I'm not coming back home. All I can do really is keep doing what I am doing. And see, you can only live your story. All we got is our own story. This is my story. This is my song. Carry your little butts to school. Go to college. Get a degree in something that you're passionate about. Come out and make a difference in the world. Don't just make money and hoard it. Give back to the youth. You understand what I'm saying? These are the things. Look in the mirror. Say, yes, I can. But then you got to go out. You got to go out and get somebody's hand and say, come on, let's go. Let's do some good in this world. Let's do some good in this world. But that's a coming together. And it starts at home, love.
So you're getting this star on
Hey.
Lewis Walk of Fame and Delmar Lewis.
Yeah.
You've got one on Hollywood already. Of course, that's a major deal, but how does it feel to get one in this area?
I just told somebody that it's pretty much the same feeling. The Hollywood Walk of Fame and the St. Louis Walk of Fame, I believe, is equal to me because St. Louis was my beginnings. Mm-hmm. And if Kinloch and St. Louis hadn't given me all that I had when I left, I wouldn't be where I am in Hollywood. So they really are equal. This is so exciting. Homegirl makes good. It's exciting. Yeah. I'm going to see my classmates and my family. And, the St. Louis press has always been really good to me. I mean, I think it was Joe Pollock at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. He wrote so many beautiful reviews about me when I was just a kid, about my concerts. I came home touring with the Broadway show at the Fox Theater, I believe. And I did a big concert with your choir at the Powell Symphony Hall. And, I get home often, not that often, but when I do come home, I've always been received in a very loving way from, the hotels I stay in to the restaurants I go to. I always feel loved when I come home.
That's because we do love you.
And
so would you like to see more production work in this area, more movies?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Are they filming in St. Louis?
Well, the tax credits were just, passed, and amended. So who knows what's going to happen as a result of that, but do you have a vision, for bringing more entertainment jobs and film jobs to this area?
Interesting. Well, now that I know they've done that, maybe I will. But no, I hadn't planned anything like that. I usually come home and I'll do a concert in the churches to raise fund. I remember going some church and raising funds for that church. When I'm asked to come home, I will come home, but I'm not a director and I'm not a producer. So I'm usually just hired in production. But listen, if I hear of something, I'll send it your way.
I love that. I love you so much. Thank you so much for talking to me. I can't wait to see you.
Thank you so much.